Well, Donald Trump's getting a focus back on his campaign, but also still facing challenges from his own party. Today, both he and Hillary Clinton campaign in some of the battleground states. And our Wink News political expert, Dr. Bart Rossi, here in the studio to talk about how the candidates are doing so far. And thank you for coming in again.
Nice to be here.
Since we last saw you last week, has Donald Trump got his campaign focus back? What do you think? Is he doing better?
I think he's doing a lot better. I think he should have done this before. He's actually being specific. He's talked about a tax plan now, 12, 25, 33%. People can get that. I would prefer one tax, a flat tax. I think he would look better doing that. But he's looking like he's focused, at least for a little while. And I think that's what he needs to do. Maybe he can attract some voters and he can make sense out of this election and people will move in his direction. So I think it's a positive in terms of a start anyway.
Right, it's a better start. All right. In terms of the Trump campaign, this ongoing storyline about Republicans who they don't want to see him get elected. And so there's some more opposition to him from his own party. Just take a look at what some Republicans are saying.
I think taking on a Gold Star father and a Gold Star mother probably was the low watermark of his campaign.
It's not sour grapes at all. It's fear for the country. We fear for this country if that man gets into the White House. It's as simple as that.
Former national security advisors have all signed a letter to the country worried about Trump. This is not going away. Should he do anything to deal with this?
Well, first off, Trump has defined himself. Usually it's the other party that defines the candidate in a negative way and they move on. In this case, Trump has defined himself and his persona in a negative way. So a lot of these Republicans are picking up on that and they're saying we just don't like his character and his personality. What Trump really has to do is what we were just talking about. He needs to be specific, come up with plans. What about taxes? What about terror? What am I going to do? Here's how I'm going to help everybody, all groups of people, and see if he can attract women, some minorities, and make a dent into this the hole that he's really dug for himself.
Now, we did hear Trump's economic speech, where he finally came out with some specifics. I want to get more of your reaction to it, but let's listen to a little bit about what Donald Trump had to say during his economic speech.
She is the candidate of the past. Ours is the campaign of the future. When we reform our tax, trade, energy, and regulatory policies, we will open a new chapter in American prosperity.
So he believes he's got a way to get the economy moving again. Your take on his delivery?
Well, I think his delivery was really pretty good. I mean, he was focused. It was scripted. I think he needs to do more of that. At least he makes sense. And you can disagree with him, but that's okay. Instead of disagreeing with his personality, we're actually talking about his policies and what might be a real policy. So that's a step in the right direction. Does it make a lot of sense in terms of finance and so forth? That's okay. We can talk about it. And he can throw his plan against Hillary's. She'll go back at him. That's okay. That's the way it should be.
But there is already that back and forth. Hillary Clinton didn't waste any time to respond. Here's how she reacted to Trump's speech.
His tax plans will give super big tax breaks to large corporations and the really wealthy, just like him and the guys who wrote the speech.
So we got the typical back and forth going now. He presents an idea, she criticizes it, vice versa.
Yeah, I think this is what we want. We want to make a judgment based on, one candidate going against the other rather than just a candidate and his personality dominating the whole scene. I think Hillary made a good point there, too. You have tax breaks for people who have, child care. It's a full deduction. That's a good thing that Trump proposed. However, what about people who can't afford child care? What do they get? Two parents working. So she has a point. He's made a good point. So I think maybe we can move on and look at substance for a change.
That wouldn't be a bad thing on the campaign trail. And the importance of Florida cannot be understated right now with Hillary Clinton spending 2 days here again. So we'll talk about that when we see in the 8 o'clock hour. Dr. Rossi will be back, and so will Wink News This Morning. Stay with us.